Hi guys, we will start with the broadcast section with no embargo, followed by an embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. No live tweeting during the broadcast section and use the microphone provided. Gary.
Thank you very much. Hello there, thanks for your time.
Hi Gary.
So you can go ahead now and announce the Brennan Johnson to Crystal Palace news to us exclusively.
Nice opening. There's probably something about the rumours, but yeah, that's the only thing I can say right now.
This feeling seems to be that it's a deal that suits both clubs, suits the player, and if it's going to get done in time for him to be involved in Newcastle, it needs to have been pretty much done already.
That I don't nothing about and basically don't care about. So, like with everything, I'm very happy to speak about everything when everything is announced or published. If that is we sign a player, we sell a player, or staff member in or out, or whatever it is. But for now, yeah, it is what it is.
Is he in your squad for the Sunderland game?
He was not a squad yesterday, and you will see that tomorrow or the day after tomorrow.
So let's assume that at some point today we might hear that he's gone to Crystal Palace. I think when you were at Brentford, you tried to sign him. But what's changed?
I would say I'll repeat my answer as I just said. If that's the case, I would love to answer that question when and if it happened.
You're not boring. You're great company, off camera and in front of camera, but Tottenham fans, the away fans last night, were suggesting that Tottenham are boring. Song that's normally reserved for the North London rivals, being sung by Tottenham fans. Boring, boring Tottenham. If you heard that, I know you did, but if you've heard it said, how does that make you feel?
I definitely got some reminders about it, so including one today. So thank you for that. Yeah, it's not perfect. We want us to be free floating. I think a couple of things I want to reinforce positively is the last two away performances to stand on, and the foundation we are building was very strong against Crystal Palace and Brentford. I think we were very good defensively, actually fantastic defensively last night. Gave them more or less nothing. I think that's hugely important. I think we understood how to close down their transitions. Then we're working very hard and understand the frustration. I share them too. Very hard on the offensive part of the game. And there's a few things in that we need to do our best to improve. One of them is, for example, yesterday we lost the ball on forced errors 25 times. I showed those 25 clips to the players today, just short, not it was just like a reminder that's focus, that's concentration, that's all that. Can we just, and of course football is a game of mistakes. You lose the ball, so that can happen because of bad decision, bad touch, whatever, or concentration. So could just half of them be better? That will provide us more attacks, and now it's definitely maybe 5. At least good counterattacks were a better touch, better than we are suddenly 3v3. Then it looks a little bit more lively, a little bit more open, a little bit better. So that's the one level we need to do. Then the next bit is the patterns and the structure and getting in the right positions. We didn't get that right last night. I showed that again to the players today. That is my responsibility together with the coaches. I always take that. And then the third thing, I think it's also okay to mention that we still lack some very important offensive players that's been out for a while. I don't want to mention it again. I'm getting a little bit bored, very bored, and sick and tired of naming them. And on top of that, we didn't have Xavi Simons for various reasons, or Lucas Bergvall. So the ones who's on the pitch, always trust them, always believe in them. I think Wilson, I've said it many times, is a very promising player that I believe a lot in. Looks so lively against Crystal Palace, but also natural with a young player that it was a little bit up and down yesterday. I'm convinced he'll be very good for us. And then on top of that, you play every game, every third and fourth game. And when you do that, the ability with the concentration level and the physical level to be on the top to keep producing is what, how can you say, split the good players from the very best to do that. And sometimes you can be a good player to go to the very best, but you also learn it along the way. So that's where we are right now. It's unfortunately very boring. But that's the fact. We need to do everything we can to put a attacking, intense, front-footed performance out against Sunderland in 2 days' time. I'll do everything I can to make sure we do that. And if we do that and get 3 points, 7 from 3, which is very good, which would be a very good output. So that's the aim. By the way, against the Sunderland team, that's done unbelievable well. And I know for a fact, because when I say attitude, I'm confident in my own skill set, but also very humble about who I am, where we are, and what we need to do. And I know what we are facing tomorrow against Sunderland, because I've been there myself. That's going to be tough, but we need to be on it. That was a long answer, actually.
Long answer, but a determined answer. Is it also a long answer because you were hurt and you feel hurt?
No. It's a long answer because I'm explaining the situation where we are.
To dare is to do. Do you need to be more daring?
I think I'm very daring. I'm sitting here.
Enzo Maresca, obviously, is the latest managerial casualty. We know, because you said so, that you went for an interview for that very job. Was that a close shave, a lucky escape for you?
I think we don't know what happened behind the scenes. At Chelsea, it's your guys' job to be clever there and come with good suggestions to why he's not there anymore. We don't know that. I think it's so there can be very good reason for it. There can be bad reason. Who knows? And actually, basically, I don't care. I have other things to worry about. The one thing I would say is, it's difficult to build something sustainable, successful, if you don't keep key person in the job for a long time. I've said that many times, and all the top examples of clubs being successful year in, year out, they had the head coach, the CEO, the sports directors, the key members, coaching staff in the club for a long time. You're welcome.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
You mentioned the working on the attacker. I think you said last night that you are confident that attacking qualities will come. How do you give your players confidence of obviously continuing on with the defensive solidity that we have seen in the last 2 games, but then not being afraid, not being hesitant to take the game to Sunderland in one?
No, I think we, of course, keep reinforcing the messages, keep trying to do the right thing, keep trying to be brave, try to go forward. I think that's the key thing. And then understand that this Premier League is unbelievable tight. And when it's tight, it's not like it's that easy. But the main thing is that we keep being brave.
And you mentioned obviously having bidding reduced Lebris's position before he were there with the Brentford. The fact that they signed so many players, they had an overhaul of the squad, and but that they've done so well this season. I mean, how difficult really is it to have done as well as he has in his first season in the Premier League?
I think he's done fantastically. Very, very impressive. The first season in the Premier League, and also, as you say, with changing a lot of players, it's been very clear what they want to do. They understand that when you go up in Premier League, you need to defend very well. They're very good on set pieces. They're very good at that. They fight, they run. And now they got the confidence and done very well against a lot of teams, but also away from home. So it's going to be a tough test.
And in terms of your team moves, you don't need players coming back for Sunday. Forgive me, I know you said you're getting bored of speaking about one player in particular, but just with Dominic, are we looking at sort of mid-January or late January for his potential return?
The thing I need to open up about, of course, is when you're out there on the pitch with pictures, then that's positive, of course. But to say mid-Jan or end of Jan or 25th of Jan, I will not do that. I will very much look forward to name the date when he's involved in the squad.
Any other players?
Lucas Bergvall is a doubt. We hope he'll be ready. So that's the only one.
Ali.
Hi there, Thomas. Hello again. Obviously, in the transfer windows, players go and players come. How difficult is it a manager to tell a player that's heading out the door kind of that they have to go to a new club? You know, maybe if they don't want to, or it's not part of your plans, or different circumstances, I guess.
I think there's different scenarios. There is players that want to leave. There's players that is a little bit on the do they want to stay? Do they want to leave? And then there's players that don't want to leave. And that is the three different cases you need to solve between sports directors, head coach, and player and agent. And hopefully, in the most cases, everyone is happy in the end of the situation.
We spoke a little bit about the bench last night. 2 goalkeepers, not a lot of options. Kind of does that show kind of how difficult it is for you right now with the unavailabilities, but also how this transfer window has to be kind of done right, and you get in players that can improve that situation?
Yeah, I think it's again, it's my job, my responsibility to find solution when there's tough times. I will never run away from that. But of course, it's easier to have a fully fit squad, and you just know, okay, I have these 5 tools. I can do this in the midfield, I can do that on the wing, and do that on the strike. I maybe change the fullback, whatever it is. And yes, we were limited last night, but that's part of it. There's just some games you will have like that in a season, and you need to do those spells. And I think that's another thing. Those spells. I know it is not popular to talk about, but those spells, if you then don't lose and you get a point and you're very solid defensively, that's a good thing. That can be a very good point in the end of the season. Do you want to play better? Yes. But that's unfortunate situation right now.
I'll just ask about the 2 goalkeepers. In that situation, I mean, kind of what made you pick 2 goalkeepers rather than maybe, I don't know, another young player with a Callum?
That could also have been the case. It wasn't last night.
Okay. And just briefly on Wilson, you touched on him earlier, Wilson Odobert. Firstly, he's got so much kind of raw potential and talent in there, but then there'll be moments in games where maybe he's not as strong. And like last night, we saw Jordan Henderson outpace him, which shouldn't probably happen.
With all due respect to Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, of course, terrific player, but shouldn't be outpacing Wilson Odobert. I mean, what does he have to work on and develop to become the player that he can be?
Yeah, I think take the positive away from the Crystal Palace substitution role, where he was so lively and they couldn't catch him and should have scored at least a goal. And then last night, I think there was still some very positive glimpses. And I think he is in the situation where he take a little bit better decision when there's, let's say, 3 times the touch, because even he's taking that will just get him in a top position. He's turned and we're 3v3 instead of it's a bad touch and then we go the other way, for example. So just keep learning on that. Keep learning that. That's just a normal part of football. Unfortunately, there's a little bit extra focus in the Premier League, but hey, that's part of it.
We'll finish this section with George, please.
Hi, Thomas. This question has been asked to your predecessors as well, but can you be successful at Tottenham without the Tottenham fans behind you?
I will try to maybe turn that question around and say, if you are successful, the Tottenham fans will be behind you. So the fans will get behind us, and I'm pretty sure that, some booed last night, and I'm still pretty sure there's a lot of fans are behind us.
I'm sure there is, but when you think that you've had 2 London derbies away, you've got 4 points, 2 clean sheets, on paper that looks progress, but at the end of a game, you've got them booing yourself and chanting boring, boring Tottenham. Is there kind of a misalignment here with what you see as success in terms of results and the sort of style of football that they need to see but they're not seeing yet?
Yeah, well, I think expectation is good, and I also think this is we are probably in a bit of a transition. Not that we don't want to play a lot better, but the club, the squad, the injuries, all that, taking into consideration is part of that. And in a transition period when not everything is perfect and you don't get the win or we don't play as good as we want or I want, I'm very aware that Crystal Palace win. I'm very happy with it because it's very important to have the ability to do that, but also very aware that we didn't play as good as I want in that aspect, but also I acknowledge where we are. So it's just that understanding of that, and that's fair. That I understand it a little bit better, and the fans want more. And
obviously it's not just down to you this, but I think the fans are struggling with what the plan is for the sort of this season under yourself long term. I know you spoke about competing in all competitions, but what for you would be success this season, and what would be success in season 2, and so on?
I think what I'm 100% sure will happen is that I know we will be able to score a lot of goals, and I know we will be much more dominant in a lot of games. But with the current situation, with too many of the top players out, playing a lot of games, that just make it more tricky. Also, with no time to train, just reality. I think there's not one coach that will not say that. And then we need to manage everything between that. And that is just small steps in the right direction every day. And keep walking forward, keep improving, and then things will take care of itself. Probably answer a few more questions in press conference like this, improve a little bit, get the wins, and then it will be forgotten because it goes like this. Right now it's the talk of the town, fair enough. Tomorrow will be forgotten, it will be a new thing, and we just behind the scenes need to be calm and work on the things very hard, and keep improving.
But sort of would kind of a top half finish be success? Would sort of 12th be success where you are now, or do you sort of thinking you have to be Europe kind of thing?
I think for me that's to name a position where we should end or want to end. I think there's so many things you don't control in that aspect. I promise that we are very ambitious. We know exactly where we want to go, but I think it's about improving next step in front of me. Make sure that we come up flying Sunday against Sunderland. Look more in sync. I think reality is will not be perfect, but can we see good glimpses of more offensive attacking threat and get the win? That would be a step forward.
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there. Move on to the embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. Elise.